Who are the worst sinners? Is there such a thing as the worst sinner? In a world filled with negativity, and every day I watch, it increasingly grows dark.
Pride parades hold a deep connection to ancient pagan rituals. What they're doing is rooted in ancient evil.
It is important not to get consumed by the darkness. I used to spend excessive amounts of time dwelling on the evil that exists, but now I invest my time immersing myself in reading and earnestly seeking the knowledge about the commandments, which ultimately guides me towards the ways of the highest. Remember, mere comparisons to others and feeling superior because you are less wicked than someone else will not get you off the hook. So let us read the words of Yashua and embrace the wisdom it holds. So many things the King of Israel said have been purposely watered down, but by delving into what he truly said and by accepting the full force of his words, can we truly find our way out of Babylon. So let's start by reading Luke chapter 18 verse 10. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, Elohim, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even this publican. I fast twice in a week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote on his breast, saying, Elohim, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalteth himself shall be brought low, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Your relationship with the Most High is truly unique, so there is no need to compare yourself to others to validate your behavior. It is crucial to approach the Most High with humility, acknowledging your own flaws, imperfections, and sins. Now let's read Luke chapter 12 verse 46. The Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and will cut him sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. And that servant which knew not his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not, and did not commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. For whosoever much is given, of him much is required. And to whom men have committed much, of him will they ask the more. In other words, we all don't have the same expectations. To whom the Most High gives more, more is expected in return. So you can't look at somebody else and judge yourself against another. The ways of the Most High is a lonely road and individualistic. Now let's read Luke chapter 13 verse 6. He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree and planted it in his vineyard. And he came and sought fruit thereon, and found none. Then he said unto the dresser of the vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and I find none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth the ground? Meaning, why let it take up space? And he answering said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I dig about it and dung it. And if it bear fruit, well, and if not, then after thou shalt cut it down. In this parable, the man who planted the vineyard represents the highest. The dresser of the vineyard is Yashua, and the tree represents the nation of Israel. However, it is important to understand that this parable applies not only to the entire nation of Israel, but also to each individual Israelite. Each person is entrusted with the responsibility of producing fruit. If the man overseeing the vineyard doesn't find any fruit, he will remove it. Therefore, it is imperative for us to focus on our own tasks rather than comparing ourselves to others. Let's diligently carry out the assignments bestowed upon us by the highest. Now let's read Luke chapter 13 verse 1. There were present at that season some that told him of the Galileans, whose blood Pilate had mingled with the sacrifices. And Yeshua answered and said unto them, Suppose ye these Galileans were sinners above all Galileans because they suffered such things? In other words, these Galileans died a horrible death. But what Yeshua is explaining to them, that it's easy to look and see that if a man suffers greatly, you would say, man, he's got to be a bad sinner. Verse 3, I tell you nay, but except you repent, you will likewise perish. In other words, if you sit idle, observing the behaviors of others, and not fulfilling your post and keeping the commandments of the highest and the responsibilities assigned to each Israelite, it is only a matter of time before the consequences catch up to you. It is crucial that we prioritize our own obligations and focus on our own affairs. Before I started this channel, I spent way too much time trying to bring others up to speed, neglecting my own responsibilities. But the Most High had mercy on me. It is understandable to spend time teaching others, but do not get caught up thinking that you are doing better than others. We all do not have the same expectations. When you pray, have your hands held up high and your face down to the ground, and say, Elohim, be merciful to me, a sinner. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.